Hello there. How are you doing? Okay, this is Two Legs Better, and this is my channel Two Legs Better. If you're the first time, and today we're going to talk about this badminton and how to hit it with this. So specifically, we'll talk about the Lin Dan a little bit. Lin Dan is arguably, well, not in my book because I believe he is the greatest of all, greatest of all time, the GOAT. The best badminton player I've ever seen, and I watch a lot of videos, and I think he's the best. And but the thing is this: some people say after Lin Dan, nobody else can do what he did. Well, on the court maybe, but the thing is, why? Why can't the modern players do what he did? Did he do anything special? This is my analysis. Um, I will I will first tell you a story, and then I will go over a few clips from several games from his the beginning of his time, the middle of his time, and the winning moments of not winning moments, later stage of his career, and do some analysis, and hopefully can show you a little bit of what makes him great. So please stay tuned, and I don't know how long the video will be, but I'll try to make it as entertaining as possible. Like I always stress, I'm still new to this, so I'm trying to find the best way to get my ideas crossed yet. So if you have any ideas and comments, please put it down there, and hopefully it can help me improve in the future. But my point is, my purpose is to dismantle the nuances of badminton, because badminton has so many subtleties. It's very difficult to understand, especially for beginners. But anyway, even if you think you are advanced players, the chances are you still have a room to improve. And and later maybe I touch upon a little bit how you can improve. But let's delve into that, and let's take a look at Lin Dan. So now, Lin Dan is well, if you play badminton, you should know the name at least. But do you know how great he is? And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that, because it's just it's not what I do. I don't, there are lots of stories I can tell about him, but I don't want to delve into that. But I want to focus on the technical part. But I do want to tell you a story about, I was in the Hong Kong Open in 2009. That's the 1 year after Lin Dan won the Olympic gold. Just crashed Li Chongwei in the final, and Li Chongwei was the #1 at the time. I know Lin Dan should be, but Lin Dan just gave the #1 to Li Chongwei the 1 week before the Olympics, I believe, 1 or 2 weeks. But that was a very remarkable day, because in Hong Kong, it used to be played at the Elizabeth Stadium, and it was really close. So I sit really close to the court so I can see all players up close. And the other thing is I got the access for the whole day. So I went there in the morning until late at night, just go out for lunch and dinner and come back for the whole day. So I saw everybody. I literally saw everybody. I saw the Korean players, Li Chongwei, the Bao Chunlai, and all those Chinese players, of course. Now here is my impressions on the singles. Okay, you see all players are great. All players are great. The huge coverage and the big smash and everything. But there's one thing separate everybody, that is speed. The speed is like the movement speed and the smashes. Almost everybody can smash, really. Everybody can smash, everybody can defend. And in terms of the movement speed, one person stands above everybody else. That's Li Chongwei. You can visibly see that on court for the whole day. Every single game you see how fast all players are. Of course they're not like always fast, but you can see the fastest they can go and their normal speed as well. Then you see Li Chongwei. His top hand speed, his fastest speed is faster than anybody. It's just it's unmatched. You can clearly see that. Now, if you don't know anything about badminton, you sit there and watch, you would clearly say, okay, that is the best player out of this group. And that group was basically all the best players were there. So that's my impression. But that is before Lin Dan came out. When Lin Dan came out, you just sensed two things that strikes me. First is he's different. He's really different from everybody. Why? It's hard to tell. And why is it hard to tell? Because he's not fast. He's not like faster than Li Chongwei, but it doesn't mean he can't be faster. When he is fast, he is fast. He's really, I would say he's a little bit even faster than Li Chongwei. But nobody can be that fast all the time, right? So, but he's normally not fast. So that made me thinking, how can you put yourself in a technical advantage when you are not going fast? Okay, so hopefully I can answer some of that in today's clips, but it will be difficult because for one, the video is hard to see. For two is it's just hard to find. It's very hard to compare to when you're sitting by the court side to watch them. Is kind of different, but I will try my best, and let's see. Let's delve into that. So first game I want to show you a little bit is in 2016 in the Asian Championships, Lin Dan against Mustafa from Indonesia. Here is this. Notice the years, 2016. And Lin Dan was born in 1983, so that's when he was 33. 33 to badminton players, it really kind of depends, to the Denmark players, the Danish, is young, is still young, right? But to other places like, China or Indonesia usually means you already retired. The Chinese players, they usually retire before 30. A lot of them do. And but Lin Dan is 33, still playing at a very high level. I'm not saying they can't, okay? Like, the daddies from Indonesia, they play close to 40s. Lin Dan played close to 40s. Li Chongwei played close to 40s. So it's not. I'm just saying, he's not young anymore. He's not 2008. That's 8 years later, okay? But Lin Dan is still Lin Dan, I suppose. And he was facing his opponent, that's Mustafa, was born in 1995. So that year he was 21, 22. So really his prime age, and he did really well at the junior championship and didn't get gold but got bronze, and so he was a really good player, and you can see this. So this is a very classic experienced player against a young player. And the reason I show this one first is that Lin Dan doesn't have a physical dominance in this game. He's not as dominant as he was in 2008. He dominated Li Chongwei in everything: speed, power, everything, technique, strategy, everything. But now he can't. So maybe I shouldn't say he can't. He probably wouldn't like me to say that. But you'll see from this game. Okay, I'll show you a few clips from that. By the way, I don't care who you are. I generally don't like backhands. Why? Because when you turn your back toward your opponent, you don't know where they are, and then they can do whatever they want. They can sneak up the net, and then they can. It's a gamble, I know, but it can also, if they succeed, it can be a huge blow. Of course, for these professionals, even backhands, especially like Lin Dan, when he does backhand, he can do whatever he wants. He can pinpoint his his attack, his placement of the shuttle. But still, you put yourself at risk. And also, when you do backhand, your movement and your power generating both cost more energy. It makes it harder, more difficult. So I generally don't like that. So let's take a look. You see, as good as Lin Dan, whenever he turns, he puts himself in a bad position here. But I want you to pay a little bit of attention to how he hit that. See his foot. Notice he is a left-hander. Okay, so there it is. That's the both foot. See where their foot goes, and notice the right arm. Okay, the right arm, how the right arm goes, and how the left arm goes, and you'll be surprised a little bit. See the angle. Oh. Okay, all right, let me see. Huh. Oh, it went back to the beginning. Okay, now let's see. It's still hard to see. I don't think it will have a slow-mo replay. Okay, but I want you to notice a few things. First is that the left foot, the supporting foot, it goes towards the main foot. Okay, so a lot of people, after they hit the shuttle, the other foot, the back foot, stays in the position, or they try, and that actually holds your body back and holds your motion back. So that's not advisable. You see the professional players, they don't do that. They make it natural. They follow it up, because then you can turn and you can turn back. And in this one, you couldn't see how they hit that, but I can tell you the grip is the backhand grip. The thumb is on the side, not on the bigger side, but on the smaller side, and then you can do the backhand motion, and that was a net job, and then Mustafa was able to take advantage of that. Lin Dan turned and then saw the shadow, was it at his backhand side, and he had to go up and lift it. It was not far enough, and then Mustafa was fast and then just smash it. So to me, it's all because of the backhand. Lin Dan was lazy. To me, it's laziness. He can do it in forehand, no problem, but he didn't. Anyway, so that's one. Okay, this is just a brilliant disguise. You use the backhand, so you make the motion like you're going to lift it high, but then at the last moment you just do a little cut and then drop it in front of the net. Take a look. Of course he missed it, but the strategy worked. Okay, he moved Mustafa out of position, made him run. Of course, the last smash, he doesn't have to hit that close to the line. Actually, he can hit it almost anywhere on the court. But tactically, it's a success, but he didn't get the point. All right, so he didn't show the slow motion, but he's going to serving. See the serving. Do you see? Let me see if I can enlarge the screen. No, I can't. So where is the thing? All right. See the thumb? See the thumb here? Do you see it? The thumb is on the side, the smaller side, not the bigger one. Okay, not the wider one, the narrower one. So that's how you serve. That's when you serve, that's where your thumb should be. Because see that's backhand. When you do the short serve like that, it's backhand, and that's how you generate force. Most people, their short serve sucks. A lot of them, especially amateurs. Why? Because they use the forehand grip so not the backhand. You need to use backhand grip. If you don't know what that is, check my other video and I have an explanation there. So let's take a look at this rally. Okay, I personally think Lin Dan is a little bit too arrogant in this game at the beginning. He's leading, of course, but still, I think that one is a false judgment. But I want you to see what Lin Dan does in the thing. A lot of people try to analyze Lin Dan and mention that he doesn't move. Unlike a lot of people, unlike Li Chongwei and other players, they move. They have a little hop before, in between hits, But Lin Dan doesn't do that. But does it mean Lin Dan doesn't finish? Do you? Well, if you watch my last video, I mentioned 3 things in your hitting. The first one is your movement. So the step 1 is you move towards, you move and lead by your racket head, by your racket head. Sorry, my handwriting isn't very nice. So that's step 1. And step 2 is you generate the hitting motion. Your body turns, you jump, your body turns back, your elbow up and wrist and finger. So there's a whole nuances in there, so I'm not going into detail. And step 3, I said a lot of people ignore that, is the afterwards. After you hit, you move your body, follow the momentum, and then get ready for the next shot. So what Lin Dan did here, does it mean he doesn't move after the hit? If he doesn't, that kind of disproves my point, right? No. Let's take a look what Lin Dan does after he hits. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the end of the previous one. Now, I want you to pay attention. After his serve, his foot moved in position, and his body, his foot doesn't move a lot. There was no hop, but his body is going towards the shuttle, and so he's ready if the shuttle returns to where it went. Okay, let's see. That is why Mustafa lifted over his head to the back, because he's ready to go forward. Okay, let's see. You see this? You see this? The thing is this. I want you to pay attention to a few things. Now, first, look at the foot. This foot is irregular foot. A little bit, I suppose, because he's left-hander. His left foot is supposed to be in the front, but in this case, it's a little bit too much front. What does it mean? It means it's better to, because badminton is a parallel game. You go cross, you go parallel to your body. You don't go straight, actually. You go parallel to your body. A lot of people don't notice that, but you go parallel to your body. So he's parallel towards that corner. That makes this corner the easiest part to defend. So he's ready to pounce. If Mustafa dares to return a net shot there, he's ready to pounce and to kill it. Okay. So what did Mustafa do was to lift it all the way to the back. That is not necessarily bad. Okay. But the thing about badminton is this. You see, you notice this line. This whole line is the best motion. He could go to this part, also go back to this part. Both parts are relatively equal. So his body position and his motion and everything is ready for that. That's easier one. Which ones are difficult? The most difficult one position is here. So if Mustafa puts the ball back here, and that actually causes more trouble for Lin Dan to move this way, and the other one is that way. So if he can cross, that's another one. But cross is kind of dangerous because you see how close Lin Dan was to the net, right? So I mean, sitting here for me is so easy, right? I can say, oh yeah, just why not hit it there? But when you're on the court, you see Lin Dan facing you. It's difficult to think that clear, right? So that requires lots of practice, lots of experience, and lots of literally lots of practice. Okay, we could do that. We could do that. I started to do things like that only recently. I couldn't do that before because now I can see the court clearer. So, but anyway, so but I want you to notice how Lin Dan is doing that. So Lin Dan is not really using his movement that much to cover the court. Part of that is because he could. You know, he's tall. He's over 180, I think. No, close to 180, and he has a long wingspan, and and his movement is because his legs are so powerful, so he can do all those things. So he can cover a wide range of the court, and even if he's in he was putting in a disadvantaged situation, he can still recover and do a good shot. So he's not afraid. He really he's confident about his ability at that. So let's move through this. You notice Lin Dan's shot. It's not a smash. It's not a full smash, but think about the position. I think he's still trying to feel the court. So put it in the position. But why he put it there, and even with a slower shot, he can put it there because the opponent is on the other side of the court. So there's a bigger gap there. So now Mustafa is making more difficult shots. He's also trying to move Lin Dan to the opposite court, but that's a across the court shot, so that's more difficult. You see that the backhand is still cross. It's okay. I mean, Lin Dan is not increasing his speed because he knew it's okay. He's in control. Actually, the more rallies back and forth like this happen, the beneficial he will be because your opponent exerting more effort on every shot. So even if he lost at this point, it's not a big deal. But also he's losing, he's leading. So the score is 8-4. But I don't know if I can show you. Okay, let's see. Let's see Lin Dan's shot. This return net shot. Do you see that? Do you see that? Again, he's not really trying too hard, but I want you to see a little bit. See the arm, the supporting arm open up. That gives him a little bit more support. And then one foot in front. Notice the tip of the foot is not really wide towards the outside because he didn't need to. He's not really trying that hard, really. And then the back foot is just casually follows, so his body is in perfect balance. When you are in perfect balance like that, you can do whatever shot you want. And the shot he did is this is a backhand. So he's using the backhand grip, and what he did is he used the arm go forward. So what you do in backhand is this, your elbow is actually curved, your wrist is curved, and then your finger is loose. So what you do is you can use any part of that to generate power. You can straighten up your arm, you can straighten your wrist, and you can use the finger to generate power. So all those things help you generate power. In this case, he just straighten up his arm to lift the shuttle back. Why he did that? Because Mustafa moved back. And if you notice earlier, when he served, he didn't really move back. He actually, his position is still the same position, but his body sideways towards that place. And Mustafa was more like a classic or something, whatever you call it. So he basically moved back his foot. So let's just do a quick look, see if I can freeze that. Okay, all right, so this is okay. You see that? You see Mustafa's movement? See his foot? See his front foot and left foot and back foot? You know, you can't see his arm. I don't think his arm is open. If his arm is open, it will give him a little bit, a few inches longer, I believe. But let's see. See Lin Dan? See that? You see that? You know, he's already there. And then he just returned it. Why did he return it? Because Mustafa was moving back. Okay, that's the one that went. Okay, let's move on. Did you notice that Mustafa lifted really high, close to the back line? That's a great lift. Okay, that's a great return. And then when Lin Dan gets there, Lin Dan actually didn't try to hit it right away. And that is what I found fascinating. That's why it feels he's not fast on the court. When he's there, he's not hitting. Why is that? Because he doesn't have to. Because he doesn't have to hit it high, and unless he wants to, because he can easily jump and then hit it higher, and he didn't, because it's the beginning of the game. He doesn't want to press himself too much in a way, but also because by doing that, he can do whatever he wants basically. Because for him, he's already in position and he's already start to hit the shuttle. And by doing that, he can determine where to go, okay? But its side is kind of behind him, so he doesn't have many choices. But you know, still. I want you to pay attention to what Mustafa's last shot there. The last shot is a beautiful shot. Okay, this one. Okay. Remember earlier I told you this is actually the worst position because his body is sideways towards this corner. So this corner behind him is one of the worst things. And notice where he stands. He stands closer to the back line a little bit. So that actually leaves the front corner. This part is the most vulnerable, most effortful place for him. But it will be. It's also more difficult to do cross. Even for professionals, it's a lower percentage shot. So, and maybe that's one of the reasons Lin Dan pushed it there. But because it's still a very difficult position for him to do. And as good as Mustafa is, he's clearly a world-class player, a very good player. So he managed to do that. He jumped really high and started hitting that. It was a perfect shot. What do I mean by perfect? Let's notice the racket head. Okay, when he was in the air, if you look at the racket head, the racket head is moving forward, suggesting a straight shot. But then, at the last second, the finger turned a little bit. The movement of the head doesn't, just that the racket head moved a little bit, made the shot in front of the net. This is what I mean by, remember, well, maybe you don't. If you watch my other clips, you see I talk about these two, this corner and this corner, from this part is the same shot. It's the same motion. The only difference is at the last second, the angle of the face of that. So basically, it's hard to really show it. So if it's going forward, see, you go forward, your opponent think, okay, you're hitting straight, right? Sure, you're hitting straight, but at the last moment, you turn the face a little bit. It becomes like an angle to your body, and you still go forward, but when you hit the shuttle, it hit the side of the shuttle, so the shuttle goes the other way. So this is exactly what happened. See that? It's yeah. So that's how it's done here. So let's see. Did you see where Lin Dan puts it? That's a cross shot. That's after Mustafa made the shot. Mustafa was ready to move forward to that, right? When you start to move forward like that, your body is toward that, is sideways towards that. That makes it very vulnerable. This part and this part in front of the net, and that part, right? So Lin Dan drop it across the net to create more difficulty for Mustafa. Did you notice that little movement? That's not a hop, that's a body movement. But that is what made Lin Dan really, really special. Really, really special. It's almost like he knew where the shuttle is going before your opponent hits it. This is a no-no in badminton world, because if you play with a very skilled player, even play with me, you know, I'm not that good, but even if you play with me, if you move beforehand, I'm going to change. I'm going to change to the opposite direction. I'm going to make your life very difficult. For professionals, it's a given. Nobody can. You know, even Lin Dan sometimes moves early. Can be burned too. In this case, you know, but this he does naturally, even against the best of them, against Peter Gator, against you know, Taufik Hidayat, anybody, he can do that. He moves before, not the foot. You move the foot, it's hard to recover because your body is in the air. But if you move your body, move your center of gravity, that's fine. So this is what he does. I want you to see that. This is just too good to see, too good not to see, right? Let's see. Did you see that? I hope you did. Before the Mustafa's racket hits the shuttle, he's already moving that toward that direction. It's just uncanny. It's just great. That's the best traits of Lin Dan. Now, did you see what I mean by Lin Dan doesn't move fast or doesn't seem fast? He is fast, okay? He is fast. He can predict, he can see the future basically, where you're gonna hit it, okay? And he's fast, he's gonna be there, but why doesn't he hit the shuttle earlier? Well, you know, a lot of players would do that, but why doesn't he? Because he's observing. First, he doesn't have to, and second is, in badminton is kind of you can win by your talent. So you're fast, you can smash and everything, right? And or you can win by your tactical savviness or something like that. So what Lin Dan did in this one is, he's already in position. You can see he's in position, and his racket is already there. He's not rushed, but his racket is already there. In this relaxed position, he can do whatever he wants. He literally can do whatever he wants. He can just hit the shuttle, put the shuttle to the net, cross it, or lift it to the cross, or lift it to the straight. And what's going to determine what he's going to do? Well, the movement of your opponent. Let's take a quick look. You see that? You see? Notice his body. Mustafa thought it was going to be a drop in front of the net. Okay, it's totally reasonable because that's the easiest shot for Lin Dan, and also because Mustafa is closer to the back line, so if Lin Dan drop it, it's going to make him run, so it's a good choice. Okay, but is that the best choice? Well, it depends, because Mustafa is young and he's able to run. So if you put it there, it's okay. He can still get it. So what Lin Dan does is to test. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. Are you coming? Are you coming? You coming or not? Tell me. Okay, Mustafa says, okay, I'm coming. And then Lin Dan says, oh, okay, you're coming. Now I'm not going to put it there. I'm going to put it across. So you need to change your direction. So let's take another look. You see that? It's just that's what Lin Dan does. That's why playing against Lin Dan is nightmare, because he puts you on a dilemma. You do, you die. You don't do, you die. You die harder. You die uglier. Because you play against Lin Dan, you better have 120% energy. I remember saw a game, Lu Guangzu against Lin Dan. I think Lu Guangzu used to train with Lin Dan, so they know each other really, really well. And Lu Guangzu gave everything he has in that game. So I think in the third game, he literally just he couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep going. He's a fighter, man. I mean, Lu Guangzu, he's a fighter. But Lin Dan is just so exhausting because he can do whatever he wants to any part of the court. So what am I going to do? Well, you might ask, so what if you face somebody like that? What can you do? You have to be fundamentally sound. So that is why Li Chongwei can compete with Lin Dan. Although he's not lucky enough to win any of the big ones, but he's the only one who can keep up with him for 3 games and still have a chance to win. Well, he didn't win in the Olympics, in the most recent Olympics, not most recent, in the Brazil Olympics. But anyway, so this is a few of the plays against a youngster. And this game is kind of interesting. It came down to the third game and last point. So if you are interested, I would recommend you to take a look at that. I want to show you a little bit about it. This is the 2007 All England Open Final. Lin Dan against Chen Yu. Just a little bit, give you a little bit taste of the early days of Lin Dan. This is Lin Dan's absolute prime. Everything, his power is everything, movement and his judgment. When you watch some of the clips, I want you to pay attention to a few things. First is his prediction, how he predicts where the shuttle goes and how his movement goes. You see how he moves before your opponent's shuttle hits. So it's just uncanny, and because of that, he can be in position a little bit earlier and then create a high quality shot. I mean, the last net shot is just so high quality. It's spinning. It's just right past the net, and Chen Yu had no choice but to lift it, but he couldn't manage to lift it really high. Remember, these are the best players in the world, really. I mean, Chen Yu was also best player, one of the best players at the time. So, and even he couldn't do that. So that creates the easy ones. And Lin Dan at the time, You give me a chance like that, you're gone. I'm gonna smash it hard.
3, 4. Five, 4.
But if you compare Chen Yu with Lin Dan in the last one, Chen Yu was still waiting there. He was waiting there. He was expecting, but he was waiting. He couldn't move. He doesn't want to move. He in a way, I dare to say he doesn't dare to move. But Lin Dan, in that similar situation, he was already moving his body, not his foot, but his body was already moving. This one is just Lin Dan being faster. He predicted the shuttle and then moved there faster and then get it faster. So Chen Yu wasn't ready, wasn't able to get back to the position there. So, but this is the 2007 All England. You can check out that as well because the time is already like 40 minutes. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up. But I want to show you a little bit of the best rallies from Asian Championship. I think this is which year was it? 16? No, not 16. I don't remember this year which year this was, but let's take a look.
India. Number 11, 1 behind China.
Okay, you see from the beginning both players were playing great. I want you to see the one. Okay, let me. This one. This is the one. You see, I actually kind of don't know why Lin Dan put it right there, because you see Li Chongwei is already there. Li Chongwei is right there, and Lin Dan put it right in front of him. I don't know why. Normally you wouldn't see Lin Dan do that. Part of that may be because Li Chongwei was ready. Li Chongwei was in a very good position. His body was ready, so other place seems more risky. I actually don't know. It's a technical choice he did, so he put it there. So, and I think he also changed his mind at the last second. So that's why Li Chongwei had to, cannot really pounce on it. But Li Chongwei still gets into a very high position. You see how high his hands were when he did that. He could, when you go there, you raise your racket high. Now you can do a lot of things. You can push it, you can drop it, you can cross it, you can lift it. When you make it high, you can do a lot of things, and that holds your opponent still. Even Lin Dan, he couldn't move. He can't move. He has to stay there, wait until the shuttle being hit.
One behind China.
That is just too good. He predicted the shuttle and jumped high and then hit the cross. You see that one? Li Chongwei changed his mind. All right, let's take another look. Okay, so Lin Dan flipped it to the back. Okay, in this case, actually Lin Dan is expecting it back, a smash. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know how he did that. Okay, because normally, what you expect is look at the foot. The foot it should be a little bit wider so you can cover everything. If it's a little bit wider, then you can cover here, this corner, a little bit better, and here the smash also a little bit better, because you don't worry too much about back here because it's long, it's fast, If Li Chongwei does that, it will be really high, so you have enough time to get there. So, and the job here is okay too. But now Lin Dan is kind of, committed, a little bit committed to this line, to the front job and the cross. So it's almost daring. I think it's almost like using his body language to say, yeah, do it to me, do it to me. Either you smash to here or you go straight. It's kind of uncanny. I think it's almost like a daring there. And Li Chongwei is like, all right, so you dare me, I'll do it. I'm not afraid of you. Why should I, right? So Li Chongwei just smash it there. See, smash it there. But Li Chongwei knows after the smash, he knew it's going to come back, because they know each other too well, so he's ready to move back to the straight return. And when he get there, look at the footwork. Look at the footwork, the beautiful footwork. Okay, if you're a young player, if anybody wants to play better, look at the footwork. And the front foot, the tip of the foot wider to the outside, and then the back foot just kind of naturally follows, and it's just beautiful. When you have that, you can make any shot that you want, okay? And that he did. So he put it in front of the net, and then Lin Dan pushed it to the back. It's clearly a surprise. It's clearly a surprise to Li Chongwei. So that's why he changed his posture. He kind of doesn't know what to do, but his reflex is too fast. So he just turned and went there using the backhand. And remember my opinion on backhands, right? So can we just move a little bit before that? Yeah, let's take another look. See, Li Chongwei is expecting cross, the backhand, back cross the court here. But Lin Dan changed that, so he used the backhand. When you use the backhand in that last minute, as great as Li Chongwei is, see the return is not deep. You see where Lin Dan started to jump, he started to jump here. He landed here. It's not even the back line of the double service. So that makes the smash really hard to defend. But Li Chongwei is great. He returns it. Not only returns it with interest. It's so great. It's just so great to look at them. I mean, they are Li Chongwei. If you get rid of Lin Dan, Li Chongwei is clearly the number one all time, the greatest. I know you young people, you say, oh yeah, what about Axelsen? Axelsen is also great, but not as great, trust me. But that's only my opinion, don't matter, okay? Axelsen is a great player himself, There are lots of great players at this point. But I just happen to think these two, well, they are in a class of their own, each in their own, okay? It's, and in that difficult situation, Li Chongwei returned it with great quality and forced Lin Dan to defend and then won the game. And with a great shot. After so many back and forth, he can still produce a shot like that, put it in front of the net, and beat Lin Dan. It's just, it's remarkable. It's truly remarkable. See how happy he was. He was like, okay, it's almost like a boxing match, See, so yeah, you punched me a few times. So what? I can take that, I can return it, I can beat you. Well, at least in that rally, he did. Okay, just let's look at one more one, then we wrap it up. In this one, this is almost like a practice one, you know, it's a regular one. But did you see how Lin Dan make Li Chongwei move? Okay, how did Li Chongwei miss that? I just sing a very high praise of him, says he's glorious, he's great, whatever. But how did he miss that? It seems like a easy one, right? But let's take another quick look. Okay, so in this case, you can see Lin Dan's footwork. Lin Dan's footwork, he's expecting here. He literally is expecting here. And I don't know. I after seeing this again, you know, I'm not playing. If I'm playing, I won't be able to do any better. I will do much worse. But when you look at this, you can see Li Chongwei's head is turning. Look at the shuttle. So he couldn't see Lin Dan. So Lin Dan can cheat a little bit because now he cannot see. If he can see Lin Dan's position, maybe he would notice that this and that are better choices. He could just drop in front of the net because Lin Dan's position is totally kind of goes this side and that side. So Lin Dan is expecting this. Okay, now because he's expecting, he was ready and moves fast, and also this one is short. Notice where he's standing. Notice the foot. You know, again, it's not very deep. It's okay. It's okay length, but it's not very deep. When you have things not very deep, now he can do whatever he wants. Now I want to mention a few things here. One is how he hit that. Badminton players, especially amateur ones, especially the good ones, the good amateur players, they are generally obsessed with the smashing. Well, smashing is great, of course, it's kind of a spectacle. But if you're obsessed with the smash, look at this. Look at how Lin Dan does it. Okay, this is a classic case. He moved his foot and look at the shuttle and jump, and in the air he turns. Remember what I said. When you are in the air, when you turn, you see you're sideways toward the shuttle, right? And when you are in the air, your shoulder, well, for me it's right shoulder. So the right shoulder move forward, elbow up, arms up, and then smash it. Now, how did he cheat Li Chongwei though? How did he make Li Chongwei go the other way? Li Chongwei thought he was going to do a cross. Two things. One is, earlier he did one. He smashed a cross and Li Chongwei missed that. So Li Chongwei is ready this time. You think, okay, you beat me once there, so I'm not going to let you beat me again there. But the more important thing is the racket half movement suggesting there was no difference from the earlier smash across the court. That's why Li Chongwei was going that way, because there's nothing suggesting it's going to be down the line. But what happened is, again, when you have that's a forehand smash, so you look, seems like you're going that way, but you're going forward. Your racket head is kind of facing the cross, but at the last moment you go straight. When you hit the shuttle, you go straight. That's how he deceived Li Chongwei in this case. Let's take a quick look at that. See that? You see that Li Chongwei's body, the gravity, the center of gravity is moving to the center, to his left, and then realized it's coming to the right, and he had to come back. That is interesting. There's so many nuances in this one shot. First of all, it's not a full strength shot. It's not the super smash. But it's not a half smash, because if you half smash that close to Li Chongwei, you're in trouble. So it has to be faster than the half smash, but you don't want to, because you also can't, because of the jumping and everything, and you change the direction in the last second. So it's difficult to have a full out smash, but Lin Dan did it perfectly, and even as good as Li Chongwei, he couldn't return that one. So this is so long. I don't know. I think I have the tendency to drag things out a little bit, but I don't expect any. Well, whatever. If you come this far, you clearly enjoy being tortured or something. But whatever. Anyway, if you came this far, I hope you learned a little bit, like I did from these games, from these masters, from Lin Dan especially. And so if this helps you, again, please subscribe and please share, and please come back, and I will talk more in the future. So you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Okay, two legs better out.